3 weeks with some missed days in there. This is a lot of stuff. This is a lot of stuff. So you be proud of yourselves. I mean, like, we covered a lot of ground, like a lot of ground. You know, the eyedropper tool, swatches, and brushes. I mean, you know, that we did yesterday. So can you say that we really like know them well? No, but like, you know, you've been exposed to all this stuff. And I'm going to make a video, and you know, the video today is just straight up like, I'm just going to go over all of these things, how to do them in Photopea. So, you know, this will be kind of like a reference video for all of the tools if you ever want to, you know, come back to it. So, all right. So again, what I'm doing today in the video is just I'm going back over all of this stuff in Photopea and how to do it. There you go. Let's see if this works. Nope. Nope. Didn't work. Great. So I'm actually going to see if I can present a window and see if maybe that'll reduce my ire towards this. Ire, really nice. Ire is a really nice word, like frustration, right? Anger, frustration. Okay, so I'm assuming that y'all can see. Can y'all just you two in the meet? I said how many are in the meet? Can y'all see my window? Can you see that weird dog on here? Can you just put like yes in chat or thumbs up or something, just to make sure we're good? Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is how to import. All right, how to import file. Choose your file. Open and place is different. That actually will put another layer on your current project. Okay, if you just do file open, it'll open a new project tab. To scale, right? Scaling is a really important thing to know how to do. You go to edit, transform, scale, and then it has a little grabby squares in the edge. Little known fact, if you hold the shift key and click and drag in the corners, it will maintain the aspect ratio, meaning it doesn't get all weird and, you know, too, you know, like smushed or whatever. Like if I don't, then you can kind of do whatever you want, right? But if I hold that shift, it'll lock in like the original like aspect ratio. Aspect ratio means like, you know, original like width and height ratio. 3:2, 16:9. That's what that is. You ever seen 16:9? You're like, huh? Well, there you go. So now it's like you could do some sort of like weird like, you know, thing inside there. All right. There we go. What can we do with layers? Rename, click, drag, hide, delete. We can do a lot of stuff with layers. Right? We go down here. This is a new layer. Double click. Double click, rename. You can click, you can drag. Right, click, drag, release, click, drag, release. You can hide them. Click in the little eyeball here, click. You can hide them, right? And of course you can delete them. With your delete key works just fine. Adjustment. So this one is, you know, this is going to add just a little bit of change, just a little bit of, like, I think of it like enhancing is kind of my thing, you know, if you want to think of it like that. But you're just adjusting colors and things like that. So if we go here, I want to get this one on top so we can see it, right? We go to down here, it's the little black and white moon looking thing, right? We've got our levels here. You know, Mr. Myers, I always got to do those black and white levels, right? Gonna jump in here. What's this down here? I'm not gonna do that. Right here. Little black and white level going on there. Okay, we've also, you're like, that's pretty boring. Well, you've got the hue, and this is the one that everybody loves, right? You got the crazy, like, you know, you can throw all the nutty colors on there. Since we're recording this, remember that you can actually choose different like colors and change just those specific colors, the hues of the specific colors. I picked yellow, right? It's only going to pick the yellow colors, and that's kind of hard to see because it's like kind of like all making it happen. But if you pick red, maybe that'll just pick up the tongue. No, this is kind of tough. See if you can notice like the floor behind it, right? Anyways, just another quick thing, just to remind y'all that there are lots of different options there. You can make something black and white, right? You go down here, black and white, boink, done. All right, very artistic. Filters are fun. Filters are easy. Remember that adjustments can be hidden as well, right? You can hide them. They're non-destructive. Filters are very easy, very fun. You go in here, you go, I never showed y'all liquify. Well, maybe next time. You know, you got your different filters here. Of course, you know that oil paint is my favorite. Now it applies to one layer at a time. So, you know, I oil painted the little picture there, but it didn't oil paint anything else, right? So I go over here, filter, maybe I go to like, you know, emboss or something. That's creepy, crazy weird, right? And you just mess around with the settings, just like, you can kind of see what it's doing, right? It's essentially pulling a negative and then just kind of like transposing them a little bit to the side. All right, whoa, it just kind of makes my eyes hurt. Hopefully you like that. Different filters, they're destructive edits. You cannot hide them. Be there, good luck. Oh, the type tool. Oh, yeah. Right here. Click once, type your stuff. Don't hit escape. If you hit work, it'll delete everything. Type your stuff, and we've got a bunch of different options for the type tool, right? Up here we have our different like fonts, not fonts, but different oh, I don't know, I can't think of what it is right now. Your fonts are right here. Right, these are your fonts. These are your different, you know, you can do like your bolds, your italics, stuff like that. I should know what that's called. Here, changing the size, of course. Color, right? Fill color. Warping. Good old, gotta have that warp, right? Gotta have that warp. Okay, just click OK. There we go. So that's the type tool, pretty straightforward, using the arrow keys to move like a finite amount, very finite, very small, very specific amount. Okay, layer effects, you know that I love a good glow on everything, right? So you get a layer effects. This one's a really easy one. Very easy and kind of cool, you know, so like you go here, you do your outer glow, right? EFF, you click on the layer you want to add effects to. EFF, and this is going to be your glow stuff, you know, your drop shadows, right? Kind of cool, actually, if you're like, well, I want to do I don't want to like click EFF a million times, you actually can go here and just click the check. And then click once. So you click once and it actually has all of the layer effects in this one menu, this one tab. So that's kind of cool. Drop shadow. And this is, you can, again, this is just playing with stuff, messing around. Because I must have gradients on everything. I probably shouldn't take time to do a gradient overlay, but I'm going to do it anyways. There we go. Rainbows are fun. All right. They're non-destructive. You know, it's really nice because you can actually go to right here where it says EFF. You know that there's effects on that layer. You can go here. You can actually one at a time, or you can just hide all of them. Now remember that whatever you see right here is actually going to be what, you know, if you export a JPEG or something like that, whatever you see is going to be what shows up on that image. So you could have all this stuff. Oh, I did that. It's a smart object. But anyway, you can have all this stuff, but you can hide it and then just export it like this, and it like none of that will show up. If it's hidden and then you hit export, like nobody will know that you have all this like weird gradient stuff if you hide it before you export it. So quick, I don't think I told you guys that before. That's a quick thing. Really important, especially if you're a graphic designer. File new. You know, these are all real dimensions. So you're like, pixels doesn't mean anything to me. We'll go to inches, right? Or millimeters, inches. So, you know, we're going to say, we'll do like 8.5 by 11. And that is just straight up a regular, you know, printer piece of paper, so that you know you want to change this to 300 if you're doing actual print. So you know that when you print this off, it will print perfectly on that sheet of paper. I think y'all at this point probably can see the importance of that. If not, then don't worry about it at this point, honestly. Photopea is fully capable to create, you know, high quality image edits. So like if you want to do this stuff and like kind of dabble into like real image editing, I mean, that's what you've already done it. You've already done image editing. So like, there's not much else I can say about that. You've already done it. You guys have all done it. So this is like what real Photoshop professionals do. So if you wanted to do it like for your friends, you know, like use the healing brush tool, that kind of stuff. Okay, so quick selection tool. I don't really have a good example of this. Here we go. Let's do the yes camel. Let's actually get this on a new file open. There we go. It's Wednesday camel. Let's see if we can crop out this camel's head. It's going to be difficult. Quick selection tool, click and hold. It's nested under object selection. Right. This is going to be, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because, again, I'm recording this, so I don't really want to like take up a bunch of time by me trying to do this quick selection on this camel. But so really what it is you're using a series of button clicks and drags to select an object. That line, that dashed line is your selection. That's all it is. All it's doing is trying to help you so you don't have to go and use the the lasso and like draw by hand. All it's doing is selecting. That's it. So what you do is, by default, you see the plus and the minus here. If you click and drag or click, it's going to say, okay, add that to my selection. If you hold the Alt key, Alt, if you hold that and then click, it's actually going to subtract. It's going to take away from that selection. And you just experiment. All right. And the quick selection tool, we did this a while ago. This is how you do the quick, the photoshopping of objects, right? This is the layer mask, is the thing that is like the magic, right? So once you have a selection, and it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be, I mean, it can be just a circle. It can be a circle select. Okay, once you have a selection, you go down here, add raster mask, click on that, and it will simply hide everything that is outside of your selection. And you can see over here that, that is not an actual, we can just right-click, disable, right-click, delete, we can delete it. Not a big deal. So, real quick, see if I can do it again, super quick. There we go. Tighten that up a little bit. Okay. All right. So, quick. I mean, it looks bad because, we took 20 seconds on it. I'm going to click and drag now over to here. Holy moly, you should probably scale this thing down, huh? You can see it's a much larger file, like a much larger image. It's a much larger image than our meme was. So we'll just kind of put it off to the side or something like that. Like, enter, done. The burn tool, good old burn tool, y'all. Burn tool is just going to add shading. I guess I can't go over there. Burn tool is here, click and hold. It's going to be your little finger pinch. I don't know why, the finger pinch thing, but it is. But, with the layer selected, you can add, maybe this camel has had a rough night, right? Now notice if I'm clicking out here and dragging, click, 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 it's not doing anything because, right, there's no, like, the image doesn't exist. I'm on the camel head layer, so the image doesn't exist, right? So maybe we want to just add some shading. Maybe we want to add a little shading to it. And it works really nicely for like shadows, right? If you want to, add like a little shadow to something. That was obviously a pretty bad job, but you can use your different types of brush tips and things like that, so it's doesn't look so like harsh, right? Experimenting with exposure, things like that, right? A little softer. So, anyways, burn tool, dodge tool is like the opposite. You're going to lighten things up, right? So we go in here, we click and hold, go to the dodge tool, and that's just going to lighten things up, right? So teeth. are a very common thing to have, whitened because everybody's gonna have perfect teeth, right? It's a weird American thing. So there you go. Or whites of the eyes. If you see those really bright, somebody has really bright eyes, the dodge tool. Spot healing brush tool. This is the one that removes spots. It's in the title. That's why I love this tool. You go here, you click once. Hey-o, spot's gone. And this has a myriad meaning many different, has a myriad of uses. You can go and you can actually start removing like pieces, like, well, I don't like the way this nostril looks. We're going to try to remove it. We're not going to do that. But, a lot of people will remove, like if you're having a bad skin day, you've got that one like right there or right there, you're like, it's my Instagram, it's a great smile. You go in the spot healing brush, it's gone. Right. I think altering someone's face is a little messed up. But if you've got like one right there or like, somewhere and you're like, or it's just a bad skin day, you got a few, you can get rid of those with the spot healing brush tool. So blending modes, that's always a fun one, right? This was kind of a recent thing, but by selecting a layer, you can actually go here, where it says normal, go here. And this will change the way it interacts with everything it is on top of. So I'm just going through, I'm changing the blending modes to see which one I think is cool. I mean, they all kind of look weird. I don't know. Sure, why not? Why would you use this? This is just another one of those effects, right? Now this is, is it destructive? Not really, because you can go here and change it to normal. But you can't hide it, you have to change it back. Right? You can do that with effects as well. So if we go here, double click on that, you can change each one of these. You see, if it says blend mode, right? You kind of see, now this is for the gradient over, how's that going to blend in, right? I mean, it doesn't, I don't know, this one doesn't really, maybe the outer glow would be a better one to look at. Let's see. Yeah, so there you go. It's pretty obviously changing how it interacts, right? That one's kind of fun. So, is there a right way to do it? No, there's not. Personal preference, 100%. The shape tool, all right, we did play around with this a little bit. It's just right here. It's pretty straightforward. Rectangle, ellipse, line, parametric shape. That's maybe the confusingest one. But I just click and hold, right, to open that nesting, those nested tools. Click on parametric shape. Polygon is, a multi-sided shape. So if you want a triangle, guess what? It's a 3-sided polygon. And if you want a rectangle, if you want to do it the hard way, you could make a 4-sided, I suppose. Star, right? Choose the amount, choose the number of sides the star has. It's a 6-sided star. Right, and just playing around with these. This is how like deep in the, I don't know, cuts, if you want to call them that, go. This is going to smooth the corners, smooth the points, and those settings hold true for the other shapes as well. Right. So this one, it's a square or a rectangle. If I want to smooth the edges, right there we go. You can do that post-op as well. So if you post-operation. So if you go here, watch this. You go here, you got your rectangle tools, correct layer, you go to properties. Look at that. Now, this is where you can actually click and drag this stuff. This is, we never got into this. I never got a chance to show you all this, but you can dabble in this, right? The properties panel here is actually really powerful. We just didn't have a chance to get into it. Not your fault. Not your fault. Stealing colors, I love a good color steal. So, going down here, you'll note that this is kind of a hard thing to see. Real quick. But this is the color of, say, a brush. All right, here's our brush. It's not doing anything because I have to draw on the camel first. I had to get out. This is the color of our brush. Now if we go up here to like the shape tool, you'll notice up here the fill is different. So you're like, well, I want the fill to be this color. It's a couple steps. You just click on right here, because it's the fill type is transparent solid gradient pattern. If you click here, anytime you see this, the color picker show up, that actually means you can steal. At that point, as soon as you see this color, you can create your own color, of course, which is a preview here. You click your own. But if you click somewhere on here, it will actually pull the color out for you. So anytime you see this pull up and you're like, oh, orange from the camel's head for some reason. Click there, and now you have the same exact color, right? And at some point it actually would like kind of blend a little bit because it is the same color, but it's too big to really notice. So stealing colors, pretty easy. Swatches are fun. Go over here to swatches. I downloaded all these swatches, right? But generally speaking, I don't know. I don't think you. At least I don't know a way to maybe refresh page or something. But I lose all this work. These are different colors that you have saved. You can create your own swatches by just making a color, right? If you want this color, like you love that color, you select it first. And all I did was I clicked here to go to my color picker. And then I just, drag onto a color that I like. You can also, interesting enough, if you see all these values change, right? RGB, red, green, blue. Saturation black, maybe? I probably should know what that is. It's been a while. You mouse over it. Whatever. Okay. All right. So there's a code as well too. So sometimes you can find codes and you can put them in here. If you find a color you like, okay. You notice it actually comes up in like they show up here, but these will get replaced as you use different stuff. This is like a history of the colors you've used. But if you have a color selected that you love and you want to add it, click here, define new, and it will add it to your list. You can download swatches, load ACO. If you can go like Photoshop swatches, free Photoshop swatches, download the file, and then you can go load it and find it on your computer. And it will upload. That's how I got all these swatches. How I got the Hulu green. I had NVIDIA on here. I know what that is. Kickstarter, Groupon. These are all different colors that this person who put this together. There it is, NVIDIA green, right? Nerd alert! NVIDIA green. This person went and sampled all those colors for it, so we know what those are. And brushes. I think that's actually it. Yeah, this is the last one. In brushes, here you got your brush tool pulled out. That's all well and good. You go up here. Of course, you have, I already loaded these up, but you have your different tip types. Let's do a new layer on top. You've got different, like this is like spray paint, right? You have your different tip types right here. You just experiment with them, y'all. You just experiment. That one you're like, well, it looks the same. Yeah, I would probably agree with you. Of course, you have your size and that kind of stuff, right? One thing you can do though, that's actually really cool. Now, this is these are lightning. I loaded those up. You can do two things. Right here is the brush properties panel. Go here, right? You can actually create your own brush. So you start here. You start, with these different points, and then you can actually just kind of mess with them. So this one is interesting. Like, so the lightning brushes, I don't know if it's gonna freeze my, I don't know why I clicked on that, because they're like gigantic. But you'll notice that there's like a lightning. Look at that. Someone went in and made a lightning brush. So you click once and it's lightning. You can do that with smoke too. Smoke is super cool. You can download brushes. Go here. Load TPL. So if you go on, free Photoshop brushes, you can load in brushes. Sometimes it takes a little while. This one is 4,984 pixels big, large. It's a huge brush, but it's cool. Otherwise, you can go here and you can change, and you can see a preview here, move this around. Color dynamics is fun. Messing with this. So then you click and you drag, and there you go. There's your little, almost looks like a rabbit poop brush. So you can make your own brushes. If you think that's something super cool, you love it, you go up here, define new, and you've got your brush right here. And you can right click and change it to like, right? And you can actually, I think you can export those. Export as, there you go. You can save your own brushes. And that, in a nutshell, that in what, 40 minutes? That is about all we did in Photopea. We did this. We made that. So this video, and if you're here, this is for your reviewing pleasure. So if you ever want to, I'll see maybe if I can post it to YouTube. I mean, I'm not going to see because I can just do that. So I'll post this to YouTube, and I'll share a link out to y'all tomorrow or whatever, whenever it's loaded up. And if you ever want to have a reference back to Photopea and like, how did I do that thing? You can just watch this video and see my smiling face. And yeah, you'll have a reference to what we've done. So that's pretty much it, y'all. Today is the last day of getting that final exam done, getting that final exam option number 2 done. So yeah, get that turned in. There's nothing due today, no minor assignments due today. But if you want to get those things in, that would be great. Tomorrow, just reminding you, it's going to be like an extra credit type deal. If you show up, we'll play some games for some extra credit. If you don't show up, please do your attendance anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. Bye, every video watchers. Oh, and I will be live at least at the beginning of class tomorrow for every class, even if it's madness and I'm covered in children. I'll still go live.